Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let the Games Begin, brought to you by the ISTE Games and Simulation Network. This is an overview of what's going on for Connected Educator Month. Before we get started introducing everyone, I just want to wish everyone a happy Connected Educator Month. We are using the hashtag CE14 for all events going on this year for Connected Educator. So with me today, my name is Chris Lukes, and with me today is Kay, Tanya Martin,
Hi.
Laura Briggs,
Hey.
and of course the one who's not named, Blue, otherwise known as Vasily. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming out this afternoon. So one of the things we wanted to talk about from Game Sim Network was to give sort of a report from the front. So what's going on this month, and what do you guys have to look forward to? So the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll turn it over to Tanya to talk about some of the early events.
Okay, so we do have many events all month long, and starting with this one. Actually, we started last week, or this, I guess, earlier this week, with a tweet chat. On October 11th, we will have a Minecraft and More session. We will have several panelists who are in different stages of implementing Minecraft in their classrooms, and different kinds of classrooms and different kinds of situations. So they're going to have a discussion about how they use Minecraft, how they got started, and of course questions it'll be live, and there will be questions that can be posted and asked at that point in time with perhaps different perspectives. So we're kind of excited about that 11th, and then a few days later on the 15th we're going to have a tweet chat on the same topic on Minecraft. And I personally always get a lot out of those tweet chats. A few people to follow and a few articles to read. So we are looking forward to that.
Thank you. One of the things we do use is most of us are using Twubs. So if you want to get involved in the tweet chat, twubs.com. So twubs.com. It's what a lot of us are using. But you can also use your favorite aggregator as well. So the other thing that's going on, because it's like, wait, there's more. On October 18th, we're going to do ahead and actually, I am going to be leading a tour into MMOs. So we're going to be looking specifically at World of Warcraft. We may add another one, depends on time available. And what we'll be doing is we're looking at these massively multiplayer online games. And really what we're trying to give everyone an overview of is, number one, what are they? What sort of learning happens in these large games? And how are educators using them? So like I said, we'll also do a hangout tour, so you'll be able to see some of the different things that people are doing in these games. So that'll be lots of fun. And last but not least, we have something else. Of course, there's more. Go ahead, Kay.
Okay, we're actually going to have Vasily talk about this, and that's going to be on October 25th. Is going to be our book club, and with our book club, what we're doing is that on the 25th we're going to do an overview of our book club. But like I said, we'll have Vasily talk about this later.
Right? Oh, what am I talking about it now?
No, later. We have a different thing for you.
Yeah, actually, that's the metagame slide I was going to talk about. So we also have a November book club that Blue's going to talk about.
So, our metagame book club, we held one over the summer, in August, in July, August, and we felt it was fairly successful. And we had people ask us, "Oh, are you going to do another one? Are we going to do another one?" And we were like, "Yeah, we'll decide to do another one." So we're going to hold it within this month in the fall for November. We're going to be reading. There will be 2 tracks available. Again, we'll have Miss Sarah Jones available for track 1 with game studies. She'll be talking about the power of myth and the everyman character that is seen in those stories. She'll be more elaborate and in-depth. So if you really want to do track 1, please go back and look at the past YouTube videos so you can be up to par. because I know she'll be going back and forth between the two simultaneously. Track 2 will gonna be the fun is going to be the everybody can do this one. This is going to be talking about one of the WoW books that is out there that's published by WoW by another author. Um, it's going to be the Rise of the Horde because of the new update that's going to be happening in World of Warcraft with the new Warlords of Draenor. We felt that we would like to explore more of the lore of World of Warcraft. And this particular book, it isn't very long. It's a nice read, but it really goes into some of the more lighter points of the lore that is being featured throughout Warlords of Draenor that they are going to be trying to build on and adapt. We'll be looking at key figures such as Runrock, sorry, my bad. The chieftain of the Horde, the War Chief. We're going to look at some of his history and some of his backstory because he took over from his father. So we're going to see some very interesting things pop up if people have watched the Worlds of Draenor trailer. We have some surprises ahead of us. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's one of those like jaw-dropping moments.
All right, and next up we have Minecraft Unsymposium.
Okay, so the Minecraft Unsymposium, we moved from November because we got really busy with the book club and then also the Connected Educator month, things that we're doing this month, and we're going to move it to the spring. We don't know if it's February or March yet, but we will figure it out. And so it's going to be like we did last year. Hopefully get about 100 people like we did last year, and have it over a Friday night and a Saturday and doing nothing but fun Minecraft sessions.
All right, thank you very much. And next up, we have another special guest. Laura Briggs is going to talk about what's going on with the Mobile Learning Network.
Thanks, Chris. And we are really excited, again this year, to be collaborating with your all's PLN from ISTE, in addition to other groups from ISTE as well. And for this October, we are doing all kinds of things for Connected Educators Month. And we have, I think, 15 different events, and we're doing all these on Mondays. So we're calling them our Mobile Monday Mini Conference. And so each Monday in October, you can log on to the Connected Educator website and see the calendar there to see when we are doing all of our different webinars and hangouts and tweet chats, all on Monday afternoon and evenings, Eastern Time. Some of our topics we have coming up, we have a tweet chat on equity. We have several sessions on maker education and STEM and coding apps and things like that. We have also Tech for Learning is joining us on several different sessions as well. And we have many, many other guests that are going to be doing our webinars with us and presenting all kinds of fun mobile learning topics. Another thing we're excited about this year is we're collaborating with Kay and Grid and Trish, and we're going to be doing some webinars on gaming and mobile and Minecraft, and those are going to be really fun events as well coming up. We always love to work with you guys. It's always a lot of fun.
Thank you. Definitely are happy to have you here. All right, everyone, we're starting to get to that last portion of the presentation. So we have a few questions for everybody because we can't let any of our presenters get off without answering at least a few questions. So first off, what are some of your top Twitter accounts for gamification, game design, and game-based learning? So who do you go to look? I can go start first, and for me, I like going to Proximal Zone. For those of you that see our tweet chat, there's lots of great information from Proximal Zone. I also like the GLS Center, which is the Games Learning Society Twitter feed as well, and also there's always Rafe Coaster, is always good for a few laughs. So those are my contributions. So who else has more?
Okay, a group that I'd really like to put out there is Nasaga, and now they're the North American Games and Simulation Association, and they've been doing it for like 50 years, and they are absolutely fantastic, especially if you want to learn more about simulations. And they do a fantastic game contest with their students every year. They do tweet chats every so often, so I watch them. They don't have a regular, okay, so every Monday we're going to do a tweet chat, but I always look to see what they're doing, their conferences, and they also highlight their speakers a lot. So like their speakers doing, put up a video on YouTube or something like that, you're sure to get them. So the one that I really like that I don't think many educators follow that much, but I would suggest in the Saga. That's the one big tip that I would give when it comes to if you want to follow a new one that'll give you a little bit different, so that we're not siloed or in our own little place. And the Saga is a really nice one.
All right. Anyone else? Putting everyone on the spot.
I'll chirp up. Well, of course, you do want to follow the Games and Simulation Network, the ISTE Games and Simulation.
Of course, yes.
Because that particular account follows everybody and anybody. I don't know. I think that my choices tend to be a little more educational. I do like Edutopia, and although it's not specifically game-based, I guess my screen is on New Media Consortium because that's another one that I follow, and it's not specifically game-based learning, but there will be, it's all new media stuff, and they do occasionally put some game-based kinds of things on there. Just a great organization to follow with new innovation kind of stuff. And Edutopia is just another favorite that I have that, again, is not specifically game-based, but they do have game-based and gamification things on there from time to time. And then I do follow Proximal Zone and Center for EduPunks as well as the ISTE and Game Simulation Network. Those are my choices.
Thanks, Tanya. Blue or Laura, do you guys have anything?
Yes, I'll jump in.
Sure.
I think one that I think you all know of, and maybe even it's one of your all's handles, the Games MOOC Twitter. There's always good resources and helpful tips and things coming out from that Twitter account as well. And then Chris lists them there in the chat as well, and all of those are fabulous. I follow all those as well.
Oh yeah, I have to admit, Chris, you gotta put that in the description for YouTube.
Yeah, for those of you listening at home, I have Kazanovka, Proximal Zone, GLS Center, Cat Flippin', and Reef Coaster were the 5 that I posted. All right, moving on to the next question. What hashtags do you follow? So for me, off the top of my head, the ones I follow is hashtag GBL, which, by the way, is the hashtag will be for the tweet chats. So you guys can go ahead and memorize GBL as that game-based learning abbreviated. Also, of course, Laura just mentioned the GamesMOOC. Hashtag GamesMOOC is also another hashtag that I follow as well. So those are some other ones that I like. So how about you guys?
Well, Metagame. I think that's one that Metagame and GamesMOOC, I think, are ones that I typically will look for.
Okay, when it comes to game-based learning, hashtag GBL. If you put hashtag gamification, you'll get a lot of business stuff too, which isn't necessarily bad. If I'm sending things out, I'll often do hashtag EdTech or hashtag EdTech chat. Unfortunately, ISTE doesn't have an official hashtag, because if you put hashtag ISTE, you're apt to get something else. And while during the conference, hashtag ISTE14 worked very well, it's not working so well anymore. So I mean, the thing of it is, when it comes to hashtags for games-based learning, there's not a lot out there. And while hashtag GBL is decent, it's not like there's one specific one. So I actually think we're gonna have to start working on that. develop one that's really good. That's good for us. Now I know Laura's group does have a hashtag, but I'll let her talk about that because yeah, I do follow that one too.
Thanks, Kay. Definitely, the Mobile Learning Network has ISTE MLN, and we tweet with that all the time. Use that for sending out resources and advertising our different events as well, and just really for getting the word out about different mobile learning strategies and tools.
And I know also for me, I do like looking at the coding. So code.org, hashtag code.org, and hashtag STEM always pulls up a lot of fun and exciting things. I mean, I'm not going to always find something game related, but at least I'll get some game design stuff off of code.org. And STEM always has great ideas for ways to incorporate stuff into your lesson plans or for doing stuff in MMOs or Minecraft as a whole.
Very cool. So, almost there. What blogs do you read or do you receive a feed from that you would recommend to people? I will go first, and of course, I have to nominate the ISTE Connect blogs as well. So, so it's a really good tool for you for any network that you're part of, and of course, for us, it'd be the ISTE Connect for games and simulations, of course.
Well, I'll jump on to what Chris just said about. I'll jump on to what Chris just said about the ISTE Connect, and the reason is we're trying to get things out there. So every week we've been posting basically a blog that gives, we're calling it the weekly update, and then also in discussions we're trying to post one question, and in fact these questions are based on the questions that are up there. So that's something that we're going to be doing a lot of. So I would promote that, and I'm going to be quiet because I know there's a couple other blogs I don't want to steal, but if some people don't mention them, I'm so coming back and grabbing those. So everybody else, go ahead.
Okay, well, a blog that I do follow and get a feed from is Educating Lotus. This happens to be a blog by a guildmate, an educator, a philosophy educator, and she writes about her experiences in World of Warcraft. They are just so well written and insightful, and I am sharing my screen right now to show the Educating Lotus site. She takes beautiful photographs in the game, and she uses it for instruction. So it just is an example of what she uses for instruction and her own personal insights, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful read, a beautiful visual, just one of my favorite blogs to follow.
And I would say Lotus is a humanities professor, and she is retired, so she's teaching the classes that she absolutely wants to these days. And I mean, the one on that blog that I've loved the most is her talking about Minecraft and talking about creepers and being scared at night. And she really pulled her humanities background and talked about it in a way you can talk to your students about it. And when I say students, I'd say high school and above. But talking about how basically, evolutionarily speaking, and in humanities and in literature, man has always had a fear of the dark and the things that happen at night and the things that creep out at night. And so she did like this great talk. She wrote about that, and she really does bring it in. And she has college students, so she does bring it in the classroom, and she really connects to them because she plays Minecraft. She understands things. She can understand things like she'll say a term like epic fail, and they'll be like, what? And she's like, well, yeah, when I was playing and I was on a raid and everybody died and we had to keep going back and doing it again. And she really relates to her students who also understand these terms, perseverance, resilience, grit, things like that. So she's someone who while she just took up games a couple years ago, can really translate from the humanities academic into I would almost say the gamer speak of the students who are playing it, or playing the games these days, and make the bridge and the connections. And she's probably my best example of, and I'm sorry that I'm going on so long, but she's probably my best example of Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. So the students know the games, they're reading the books, but it's her knowledge of both the games and the readings and the literature that can take it that step further. That even though the students can learn everything that, the students can learn certain things on their own, but she can take them the step further and really be that guide on the side. So I think her blog's wonderful.
All right. Any other blogs people would like to nominate? All right. We'll go ahead and we'll move into the last portion.
Actually, yes. First of all, Grid writes a blog, and no one has mentioned Grid Jumper's blog. And Grid actually does. Tanya Martin does an excellent blog on virtual worlds and games, and especially, and quite honestly, what you can see on our blog that you won't see on other blogs is discussion of machinima, and that's something. And while we haven't mentioned it yet, machinima is the screen capture of 3D games and virtual environments. And out of all the gaming blogs out there, we don't see a lot of blogs that actually, besides Grids, that actually discuss machinima. They might put up a video of machinima, but actually discussing it for educational purposes, she's the only one out there that I know that's really doing that. So I would say definitely follow Grid Jumper's blog. And then the other one I'm going to put, and I thought somebody else would get this, Rafe Coaster's website. Now, Rafe Coaster wrote a Theory of Fun in game design, and we're still playing with maybe this being a spring book. But he does this wonderful discussion of the game industry, and you have to extrapolate a little to go educational, but he talks so much about creativity and game design and virtual environments and the rich experience that I constantly look at his stuff and even go back to blogs that he's written a couple years ago.
All right, thank you. So, our last question: what Google Plus communities do you guys recommend for games and simulations? For me, I recommend the Metagame Book Club community as a good place to start. That's there. Also, not necessarily a Google Plus community, but another good place to go is look for the Games MOOC is another good place, especially for those of you that are just getting into games. It's no longer active, but the Games MOOC is a very good resource that you can go ahead and access a lot of great resources that are out there. So I would definitely say the Metagame Book Club is a good Google Plus community to get started talking about games and simulations. So what else do you guys have?
Well, of course, I have to mention the inevitable betrayal. And I have my screen up of, I'm in a lot of communities, and some I'm in more actively, obviously. It's just, there's just so much out there. But the inevitable betrayal community is a community of educators and friends who are a part of this guild, the World of Warcraft guild. But it's just every day there is a post and conversation and sharing about some topic of interest in terms of the game and in terms of how to improve in the game, and then how it relates to education. So I go there several times a day. And then you can see my screen. There's a few others that I kind of glance at, and like game-based learning and gamification, and the Minecraft one. Like I'll look at them, but the inevitable betrayal one is just a really very active, everyday kind of sharing community.
Okay, I'll piggyback off Grid. what I'm showing you here is Minecraft in education. And there is a Minecraft Google community. I watch both of them. The Minecraft Google community is the plain Minecraft one is really good if you just want to see a bunch of people who are enthusiastic about Minecraft, putting up screen captures and maybe some other stuff. But this Minecraft in education one is one I absolutely love. There's over 2,000 people in it. Colin Gallagher is the facilitator for it, and he, on a regular basis, does YouTube Hangouts like this, interviewing people who are using Minecraft in their classroom. And the thing about the people who post here usually aren't beginners, usually aren't people who are going, hey, I'd like to do this. Oh, and here we go. Here's the Colin Gallagher right there. and he's going to do a mind chat talk pretty soon. And the thing about it is there is a really I'm going to say Colin does a really good job. He's in Singapore, and he does a really good job of showing a view of Minecraft in education that's outside of the U.S., which I really like. And the reason I really like that is because I'm pretty well in tune to already what's happening in Minecraft in the U.S., but he gets people who are from Australia and all around the world posting here. And also the things he follows, he puts a lot of these up here. The other thing is that most of the teachers who post in here just are a little more advanced. So if you're a beginner, you can get ideas about where to go for it. You know, oh, and there's one we posted. but you can have ideas of not just the basics, but kind of what you can aspire to. So for that reason, I really enjoyed this one, and this is the one that I would recommend. They do Minecraft well. It's not like, and Grid was showing it, and I know Grid kind of has the idea too, that she says that, oh, I glance at these. Yeah, because some Google Plus communities can get really spammy, you know, with anybody putting anything up, and I hate that. And I have to say that perhaps some of the ones that Grid pulled up, and one of the reasons why she doesn't read them all the time is because they get spammy. This one is pretty good. So far, everybody has been focused on it, and you won't see something like, you know, buy textbooks cheap or something like that on it. This one, even though it has 2,000 people, it's pretty good, and it stays on focus. So when it comes to Google Plus communities, that I would have to say that other than the ones that I'm involved in personally because I know them, I'd have to say that this is the one that I really like. And I'll let somebody else talk.
I do love education, Minecraft and education. That is a really good group, and it doesn't span too much. And I know like lots of G plus communities all like that. But I just wanted to add two more to the things you should look at. The two groups is gamification and education, and ed tech. Those two groups aren't as spammy, but they have really good. I found lots of good links to different resources, some white papers, and some videos that I've actually used in my class. So they have a lot of good information on there.
All right, anyone else? All right, some people are saying gamification and educational ed tech. Minecraft and education. This is all sort of in the sort of a back channel here. Gamesbook resources, the metagame community we already talked about. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, panelists, for having a chat with us today. And so we're going to go ahead and bid everyone a goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you at all the other Connecting Educator events this month. So we'll see you guys online. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everyone.